When Gordon and I got out of brewing school, so we had both met there, and Gordon came back to Steamboat because that's where he was living, and I went to Key West, Florida actually, to see if I wanted to start a brewery down there. I had spent some time there as growing up. My parents had lived there for a brief period of time, that's where they had retired. And I thought, well, I'll go down there and kind of see what that's all about, and I pretty much found out that there was no way to do a brewery down there, or I'm sure there actually are breweries. There was one there when I was there, but nothing to do what I wanted to do, not a production facility or anything like that. There's not a lot of water, it's expensive and this kind of thing. So about when I was figuring this out, Gordon gave me a call and said, hey, you interested in doing a brewery on the Front Range? And so I said, sure, and I flew out to Steamboat. We cobbled together a business plan, and in that business plan we kind of came up with a name. That was where a lot of the time was spent. But the other thing is we knew we wanted to focus and have a focused brewery, so we focused initially on Saison. We kind of built everything around that. And so in the first early years, we've been open now for, it'll be 5 years next month. We have been open. In the early years, I did very little to brewing ever, but Gordon does still brews pretty regularly. And I did the sales and these types of things and kind of managing the tap room and all of this stuff. So we kind of had a really good split of duties. It's been a very kind of good partnership, but we both agree with where the product should go. We both have opinions on it, strong opinions on kind of what we want to brew and whether something is good or whether it's not, or trends in the marketplace and this kind of thing. And that's where we really come together to be creative. There's two stories. The real story is that I flew into Steamboat. We sat down, put together a small business plan, and spent the next 3 days working on a name. And the 3 days on a name were going through and basically being like, what are the things we like? And we were like, I don't know, but I don't like these things. We didn't want our last names involved. We didn't want anything to do with geography involved. We didn't want any animals involved. We didn't want specifically dogs. This type of thing. Not that we don't like. We like dogs, but it just wasn't where we wanted to take it. We wanted something very unique. In fact, we didn't even really want the word brewery involved. Funkwerks is just Funkwerks. It's not Funkwerks Brewery, even though oftentimes we're shown as Funkwerks Brewery. And so we were like, well, what do we like? And I was like, I kind of like the way industry sounds. And Gordon was like, no, that's a dumb idea. He's like, how about works? I was like, all right. So we just started sticking words in front of works, and I kind of had to get on the plane, and we had funk, kind of like Funkwerks. And when I say kind of like it, we were like, this is probably not a good name, but we'll go with it. And we started telling people the name, and initially people they responded very strongly to it. Not positively, always. Sometimes it'd be positive, sometimes it'd be negative, but it was always strong. And it tended to be stratified by age to a certain degree, that older people have this association with funk as a very negative kind of thing, and younger people do not. And so for us, that the fact that it was strong and it stood out was kind of what we wanted to do from a beer style standpoint as well. So that's it kind of worked well with that. The fake story we used to tell when we initially started is that we liked the works part is kind of more of a German and a very consistent kind of approach that they do to beers. We actually had been over in Germany before part of brewing school, and they'll do something extraordinarily well. And they'll just do like one thing extraordinarily well. And again, that was kind of the focus that we wanted to do. And then the funk part was kind of the more Belgian, sours and Britannomyces and those types of things. So when we were first starting out, before going to brewing school, I drank typically pale ales, some IPAs, although I wasn't ever a huge IPA fan. A lot of stouts, that kind of thing. Just very American and English styles. And then coming out of brewing school, I ended up drinking a lot more German and Belgian styles. And that's pretty much all I drink today. I drink lager and I drink Belgian stuff, sours and. A lot of, obviously a lot of Saison, but that's where I'm interested. If I go to a bar here in town, then and it's a big beer bar, I'm only going to focus on this particular thing. So Saison Gordon was a huge Saison fan, and he had won a homebrew award, I want to say in 2007 or something like that, at National Homebrew for his Saison. That's kind of what had encouraged him to go to brewing school. And I wasn't that familiar with the style until brewing school, and even then, I didn't come out extraordinarily familiar with it. But Gordon kind of, showed me it very early on, like, I want to say, right as when we were trying to pick the focus, whether we were going to be all Belgian or whether we were going to be Saison. And I had Saison Brett from Hobart, and it just blew me away, and I was like, wow, okay, this is something that I want to kind of go in this direction. And so that's what we did, and I think for me it's a very palatable style. Like, I can drink a few Saisons and it's not an issue for me, versus drinking a few quads is not really an option. And so I liked that aspect of it. I liked a little bit more of the dry hopping kind of focus. I thought that would do well in the industry. And I thought it was just a very underrepresented style at that point in time. There wasn't a whole lot of people doing Saisons in the craft world. And people thought we were crazy to do Saisons, even in this town. New Belgium had done a Saison in years past, but I don't think it had ever been particularly viewed as strong. I've had some of their stuff now, and it's very good. But, and so I think people are like, nobody even likes this style. Why are you doing it? It's like, listen, this can be done well. Boulevards a good example of something that's doing it well even at that point in time. So I thought it was underrepresented, and Gordon was a huge fan of it, and I became a huge fan of it.